the one thing I will say is don't fall for his red herring strategies. He does the same thing anytime he's accused of anything, which is he tries to push the blame onto something else, or he tries to redirect attention to something else. He tries to shit smear or like shit sling, excuse me, as hard as he can to defend his terrible actions. That it was okay for him to do what he did because actually this person deserves it. The other thing is like he's a massive liar. He lies about things all the time. Half the shit that he's accused other people of is a total lie. It's all a distraction, so you shouldn't take it seriously. Anyone who tries to stand up to him, he does the same shtick, which is, yeah, well, this person, they shot up a school. I was there for it. This person actually, they kicked a puppy once. I was there for it. So 50% of the time, he's just being a weaselly little liar and just making some shit up because he knows no one will fact check it. Like saying that Hassan went to an underage brothel. And the other 50% of the time, even if he does say something true, it's not worth taking seriously because he's just using it as a distraction for his bad behavior and his actions. And there is nothing that you can say that will distract people from the fact that you were sending porn that you did not have consent to have and you did not have consent to send to anyone else. And this will not be swept under the rug. Our main story for today is something that probably a lot of you have seen at this point. I know Mike has been very good about covering it, and I know Hassan covered it a little bit, and a few other creators have covered it a little bit as well. But a particular content creator who has been known to fillet Nazis, both metaphorically and literally, has finally gone too far. And there are multiple women that have come forward to say that Destiny has recorded them non-consensually during intimate moments and shared it non-consensually to other people. And from my understanding, at least one person has filed a police report. So I wanted to talk about that because, yeah, that's not, in the words of XQC, that's not being canceled. That's a crime. That's a crime. I want to talk about it for today. I think it's important to highlight victims and highlight their stories and signal boost to help them seek justice, especially against someone who has been known to have a cycle of terrible behavior consistently. I don't remember or know exactly what started all of this. I think there was a video that came out that began talking about a little bit of it. And I think it all started reaching a boiling point when a streamer known by Pixie came out publicly to talk about it. Yeah, it's hard of him being able to be the worst without consequences. I mean, I think anyone with eyes has been able to see that he has consistently used his platform to be a terrible person for a very long time. And everyone feels the exact same way about him, which is they don't want to get harassed by his community. And so nobody ever does anything. Unfortunately, he finally, I think, broke the law in such a severe manner that the cycle might finally have broken. Yes. What the fuck? He recorded without consent? I thought he just shared videos that he got. And that's horrible enough in itself. It was one person was recorded without their consent. And one person was shared without their consent. So yeah, really bad stuff, actually. Even sharing videos without consent is illegal? Yes, correct. Sharing without consent is illegal. Recording and then sharing without consent is super illegal. So let's talk about it. I mean, anyone who's watched my stream for more than 5 minutes has known that, like, I basically never talk about Destiny because it's a total black hole and there's no reason to ever engage. In the same way that, like, you shouldn't platform, or watch Milo Yiannopoulos, right? You want to give these people as little attention and starve them out as much as you can because they thrive on having attention. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this is the one instance in, I think, 3 years, 4 years that I will actually talk about him for like literally for the first time in years, because this is so unbelievably bad. And I think it is very important to highlight the victims in this story because they have a real chance at seeking actual justice against him. Yes. Yes. And we'll get into all of the details in a second. Marok Sam will also be getting into that.
What did he do? Here is r/YouTube drama that has at least like some semblance of a summary of what happened. This morning, both President Sunday and Pixie released hit piece videos on Destiny. President Sunday's video here, Pixie's video here. Both of these videos discuss Destiny's behavior regarding his treatment of sexual partners and the ongoing scandal surrounding leaked DMs, photos, and videos of sexual nature. Destiny has found himself in a couple scandals regarding sharing nude photos and other materials, such as videos/sex tapes, without the consent of individuals/partners who appear in them. The main focus of this is a woman named Pixie, who is a victim of this behavior from Destiny.
I want to read this myself so we can read it at our speed. We've known that he unconsensually shares news for over a decade now. He was accused of doing the same exact thing 10 years ago, but everybody forgot. I don't know if I can link the thread. Yes, correct. I want to go in order on all of these things, just because there's so much to talk about here. And I want to make sure that we can handle it in the most responsible way possible. So on the YouTube drama Reddit thread, we'll pick up where Hassan left off. Both of these videos discuss Destiny's behavior regarding his treatment of sexual partners and ongoing scandals surrounding leaked DMs, photos, and videos of a sexual nature. Destiny has found himself in a couple of scandals regarding sharing nude photos and other materials such as videos or, quote, sex tapes without the consent of the individuals and partners who appear in them. The main focus of this is on a woman named Pixie, who is a victim of this behavior from Destiny and a former collaborator. In these videos, there are leaks of messages between someone named Not So Erudite and Pixie discussing potential compensation from Destiny for distributing the sexual material she appeared in, as well as the draft of Pixie's statement regarding the situation. Pixie has since released her statement publicly on Twitter, stating that she is a victim of revenge porn and she will be suing Destiny for this. Her longer statement includes her history with Destiny and her side of the story. This has notably been shared by Destiny's ex-wife Melina, as well as Lonerbox, who is stated to be Pixie's boyfriend and recently announced he would be leaving streaming. Lonerbox has been friendly with Destiny before. Many commenters have noticed that Destiny did not respond to the allegation that he had distributed Pixie's sexual/nude images without her consent. They've also noticed that the DMs included in his own statement, as well as Pixie's, reveal an acknowledgement of him doing exactly that. That is where the main Destiny drama stands at this time, and I take significant issue with even calling it drama on this subreddit, because this is not drama. These are people's real lives. So everybody here probably remembers when that video was circulating of the Destiny Nick Fuentes blowjob, whatever. And I don't think anyone even knows, and I didn't bother looking into it because it's insane, that if that even is Nick Fuentes, I genuinely, I don't know. I had to see screenshots against my will, just scrolling through Twitter because people are crazy and they're just reposting insane shit, as if that action in itself is not illegal. But that leaked because in an insane Riz attempt, Destiny was trying to seduce a 19-year-old on Discord by sending her videos of him having sex with other people. This character, their name is Rose, and they ended up leaking all of this online. Videos of him doing sexual acts and videos of other people doing sexual acts. Some of these videos were non-consensually shared. The primary person that has come forward has been Pixie, and she says that she was recorded with her consent, but that the videos were not meant to be shared ever. And he was happy to start sending this to a random person that he had never met on Discord for the chance of potentially getting laid. Which is an insane thing to do. It's an insane person thing to do. I don't understand if that Riz works. I genuinely don't. But that's crazy to me. Also, mods, can we please pin the legal fundraiser for Pixie? A 19-year-old, isn't he 35? Yes. This is a pattern of behavior for Destiny that he goes for women who are and women who have platforms online who are small content creators who are very young. I mean, it's a very common abuser tactic to go after people that are significantly less experienced than you, which is exactly what he has been doing for years. His now ex-wife, whom he met when he was 30 and she was 19, has also since come out because her sex tapes were leaked without her consent and shared with other people and then posted online because of the leak without her consent. So yeah, this really is a good breakdown of all of these stuff that's happened. So on the 21st, another former collaborator of Destiny's, Chaeiry, has also alleged to be a victim of the same behavior in a follow-up tweet and a link to the comment thread with screenshots. Oh, they're linking. Okay. Destiny has banned the people who have spoken out against him from his Discord server. Allegedly, Discord messages where Destiny admits to recording with his phone in his pocket during a sex act. It is not clear if this was a consensual recording. Pixie has now announced on Twitter that other women coming forward have received pornographic content from Destiny with concerns that it may have been sent non-consensually. So to explain this statement a little better, since Pixie has made her post online, she has had countless women reach out to her and say, hey, I actually received these videos from these people, and I actually don't know if this was consensually sent to me or not. And I feel like I should tell you about this. Destiny then announces a break from streaming. Chaeiry announced that she's filing a police report, which I believe she said that she's filed. We'll talk about it in a second. This person, not so erudite, released her statement regarding her involvement in all this. And then some other stuff has happened since then. A bunch of people have since stopped collaborating with him and stopped speaking to him. And then these are some smaller details, like making a statement regarding the allegations she's doing this all for profit. We'll talk about all of this. So I want to go in order from Pixie's statement forward. So let's find it. All this is so alien to me. Yeah. Yeah. There, like I said earlier, chat, there's a reason that for the past however many years, I haven't even like said Destiny's name, and it's because these people should be starved of all attention on the internet, and I think that's the correct way to handle them. And I think that the only reason I am breaking that rule for the first time is because these are very serious criminal allegations. And I don't even know if you can call them allegations because he's admitted to doing the thing that they're accusing him of doing. So it's just like this person is committing real criminal acts. And they should be held accountable. They just should be. And yes, I do think that I'll give credit to Mike. I think calling him the Epstein of Twitch is very accurate. So let's talk about this. Pixie releases this statement on the 20th, saying, on November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I will be suing him in federal court. Here's my story. And then the link, sorry, one second. It's opening the Substack link. Okay. Let me just, all right, we're here. I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Mennell II. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually, let me zoom in a little for anyone who's reading along. Okay, I think that's better. Had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online. My dignity, peace of mind, and hopes for the future were stripped away from me in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I am at least the third person he has done this to, and I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of other women that he has hurt, as it is not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. And anyone who has ever known anyone who's spoken out about sexual misconduct or abuse of any kind knows that victims want to move past the trauma as quickly as possible. And the reason that most victims come out and speak on their experience is just because they want other people to stop getting hurt by someone. And I've known Pixie personally for quite a few years now, and I've known that she has really, really tried to engage in politics in a serious way. She has worked directly with Justice Democrats, and she has tried very hard to make the space better. And anyone who knows anything about politics knows that you are not allowed to be engaged in politics if you've been engaged in any sexual scandals ever. We have seen politicians lose their careers because a photo of them in lingerie was leaked. It is an unbelievable violation of trust to leak someone else's not safe for work video footage or pornographic content when you know that they want to engage in the real world in politics. Unless you're Gates. Well, Gates is different because he's in the MAGA camp and you're allowed to do whatever you want as long as you're in the MAGA camp. If you're a man and you're in the MAGA camp, you're fine. I mean, even Boebert is basically allowed to get away with what she did because you're in the MAGA camp. It's fine. It's a cult. So you're, again, allowed to do whatever you want. So let's talk about this. No, she was not hacked. To explain what happened, videos that Destiny had access to were sent to random people on the internet, and those people leaked it online. And she did not consent to him sending those videos to anyone. So, let's continue. I am at least the third person he's done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of other women he has hurt, as it is not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I've known Destiny for around 5 or 6 years now, and I often find myself in heavy disagreement with him. Despite this, I do my best to see the best sides of all people. I try my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are and focus on the ways where we can build bridges together towards a better future for everyone. Some people have called this a fault of mine. They claim that I am naive and I should be more careful. And those people are right. And again, as someone who has known Pixie for quite a few years, I have also thought this, and I've also thought that it is naive to think that you can build a coalition with someone like Destiny. And it's really sad because I know that her genuine goal has only ever been real political progress and victories for the left. And it's sad that it took this to make that visible. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered, being Severely terrified of leading someone on or sexual assault, I thought I could trust Destiny, who I had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. He was 30-something, and she was 19 at the time of this recorded pornographic material. So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered that he distributed this pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bunnell II sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten whom he had never met, and then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite having never met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it is just as likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. I do not understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive non-stop sexual abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. This betrayal, coupled with the hundreds of messages I've received filled with sexual harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. And in messages that we will get to that have been shared between her and some of the other women in the community, since this, she's talked about being extremely suicidal. Because I would like all of you to imagine for a moment, if you wanted to have a genuine, even if you didn't want to have a career in politics, imagine for a moment that videos of you when you were 19 were sent to rizz up some random person on Discord and then got published to the internet for everyone to see. That emotion is so bad, I don't even think my brain can recreate how I would respond. This happened to my wife 10 years ago. She's only recently recovering. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I've been speaking to lawyers about my situation and what to do, and I've decided this is the best course of action. I will be suing him for violating U.S. federal code. And then she describes the specific code, civil action relating to disclosure of intimate images and for publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I've been told that a court case like this could potentially cost over tens of thousands of dollars, and I am terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I cannot imagine what he might try to do to me in this process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he is purposely trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit over with a multimillionaire who can fight back, as if it is an indirect flaunt or warning over his capability to outspend me in whatever legal case I throw at him. At the request of my friends, I've been encouraged to link my Give, Send, Go regarding this case here in hopes that we can raise enough money for me to legally succeed. Whoever the next Joe Rogan of the left is, it cannot be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consents, and puts women's well-being and safety at risk. It cannot be someone who puts women in positions where they will be sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewing potential GNC chair candidates such as Marianne Williamson or Martin O'Malley, who have no idea what he's done. As time passes and he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures, such as Zelensky, I can't help the cute cat for me. I can't help but be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it cannot be a party that that accepts the sexual exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream. For allowing him access to such spaces would be a direct endorsement of his behavior. Destiny's on the left. He pretends to be. I have been told that the payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I will receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I've been told that there is no realistic way that the court will grant me an anonymity. This means my only option is public. I've been told by a variety of people to not go public. I've been told by some people that Steven really does feel sorry, but I am not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do this again unless he faces justice. Let me be clear, he has violated federal law in his transgressions against me. He violated my consent, and he is directly responsible for the abuse I have received. I am terrified. And then she posted an evidence log of Destiny apologizing to me for his action. Note, I had to contact him about the situation before he even sent me this message. Here's Destiny downplaying the pain I felt and my concerns, and here's him offering to pay some bills, I guess to try and make me feel better. I'm sorry, is a water bill being paid going to make me feel okay about the lifelong trauma I have received? And I know that this is
more jeans,
a bit depressing and a bit sad, but I want to also mention that this story actually has a happy end, or at the very least a happy middle, because she has since gotten through her goal of $25,000, which is enough at least to hire initial counsel and begin the process of suing him. But I highly recommend, if anyone has even like $1 or $5 or $10 or $20, to send it if you can, because this court case is going to become significantly larger. As she has stated, multiple women have come to her and told her that this has happened to them. And now it might get a little bit weird with different states and different statutes in different states, but if multiple women can come forward and show that this is a pattern of behavior and stack charges, they have a much better chance of making sure that someone like this actually sees consequences. And if you have, I know that it says that the initial goal was already reached, but because there are so many women involved, there will be a need for more finances so that every one of these women can seek justice for what has been done to them. I think the mods have since pinned the it's a GoFundMe, basically. It's I think she's using a different platform probably because of the cut that GoFundMe takes or something. But please donate if you can. And if you don't like the guy, donate. If you think that there is a valid reason for this person to seek justice, please donate. Even if it's $1, even if it's $5, even if it's $10, please do. And I think the most important reason to take this seriously is because it is not an allegation against him. It is something that he has personally admitted to. He, I think, made the very egotistical mistake of pulling a Dr. Disrespect. And by that, I mean, you remember when Dr. Disrespect was accused of doing some crazy shit, and then he chose to admit to doing that crazy shit? Even though he could have very easily just said, hey, there was a court case, I won, I have nothing else to say on this. Even though Destiny could have easily done that here and said, hey, if there's a civil suit, everything will come out of the civil suit. We will not be talking about this. We will not be doing speculations. My lawyers have since spoke to me and told me not to talk about this at all. And so that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. We will not be speaking about this here. Everything will come out in the court case, in the civil case, in the criminal case. I will not be talking about this. But instead, he decided to pull a Dr. Disrespect and talk about it. So let's read what his statement was, which I'm sure will be very good. Legal arc beginning in mysterious ways. Such wow. Sometime in November, extremely sensitive and personal material of mine was leaked. This affected not only me, but many people in my life. I want to be clear, the leak happened without my knowledge, consent, or authorization. I never had an intention for any of these images to be published. I have spoken out publicly regarding this situation for a few reasons. One, I am actively pursuing criminal and civil litigation on these matters against multiple parties. Two, speaking publicly about these materials brings more attention to them, which harms all of the victims involved. Three, I have tried to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. 4, one person involved has expressed suicidal thoughts in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exacerbate the situation by talking about it publicly. Yeah, I'm sure that's why, and it wasn't the countless people clowning on you for sucking Nazi dick. Because there are now multiple parties involved in litigation, it is unlikely I'll be able to answer any questions until pending litigation has been resolved. That said, though I am limited in what I can say, it is important that people know about my recent communications with and regarding Pixie, someone who I was friends with and collaborated with on many occasions. Since the leaks were first circulated, Pixie had stressed to me that keeping things out of the public eye was important to her. And then there's messages from the 30th, the 2nd, and the 3rd. Let me open these. I think they're Imgur links. I'll open them in a separate tab. I just want to make sure that there's nothing in them that would be bad to have on stream. I don't think so, but just in case. Okay, excellent. We're good. So is Destiny the Alex Jones of the left yet? No, Alex Jones isn't this much of a piece of shit. So here is a log of from November 30th. Pixie saying, one last question. You and Keemstar are friends, right? Did you know this was pinned to Drama Alert? And it's Destiny porn just leaked online. Destiny says, absolutely not friends. I don't think he likes me at all. Pixie says, rip, I was hoping there was a way to get the post removed through their own volition, but I guess not, since anything other than that will just put more spotlight on it. You're obviously free to say and do whatever you want, but I'm not going to talk about anything specifically, and I will never confirm or deny any of the people in these videos or images or say any names like that, of course. And then here is a message from, I think, the 1st of December, where, what did he say was the 2nd? December 2nd, where Pixie says, let me know when you figure out the stuff with the lawyer. And Destiny responds saying, also, if you have any discrete requests or specific things that you want or need from me, let me know. You got severely fucked over in this through absolutely no fault of your own. Okay. And yeah, working today to file the stuff, reached out to law firms and they're waiting for responses back for filing reports to grab court orders and stuff. If you want, I can put you in indirect contact. I can put you in direct contact with, or you can message her directly as well to check on this and verify this stuff. She said, I don't want to have to testify or be named. As far as people ask me, I'm saying it's a lookalike and I have markable differences in my breasts to prove it. He says, yeah, okay, I haven't confirmed or denied anything and I will never do so. And then the 3rd message, like none of these make him look good. These just all confirm that he was the reason why these got leaked. And then Pixie says, do you think you'll try and go criminally after this person or not? I assume you can subpoena Kiwi Farms for the account information, maybe IP address, and go there if you desire, or do you think it would draw too much attention to it? Destiny said, I have no idea, waiting for this law firm to confirm a call with me. Also, like I said, I won't do anything in terms of filing civil stuff or making criminal complaints without checking with you first. Which again, I don't think that any of this makes him look particularly good. On December 11th, I received a message from a mutual acquaintance named Lauren Hayden, known online as Lauren De Laguna, who has a legal background. Lauren has had a negative sentiment towards me after I rejected her romantic advances earlier in the year. I'm sure that's why. And it wasn't because you sent your sycophantic audience to harass her like you do everyone. But let's continue. I understand that she has organized the fundraiser to support Pixie's lawsuit against me and assume that she has been counseling Pixie on how to proceed. That same day, I received a message from Pixie where she suggested she would create a post about me that would go live after she committed suicide. This post concerned me greatly. I genuinely believed she was still in mental anguish following the leak weeks earlier. I responded in earnest, doing what I could to reassure her and let her know she had every right to pursue legal course of action. At no stage did I try to convince her otherwise. This was a highly emotional, volatile time, and my main concern was her well-being. This whole they don't like that I rejected them revenge plot is never true, and it's maddeningly stupid. It's literally never been true, and it never will be true. But for sure, man. Hi, Stephen. As my life on this earth comes to a close, I want to ask you to be more careful with the people who place their trust in you in the future. Life is unfair, but you should do your best preventing that, not contributing to it. Hold up, what's up? Hold up there, what's up? I'm just tired of I am just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened, and I feel like there's no way to obtain justice. I don't want to bring a case against you, but I think you're going to continue to send nudes of people without their consent. And keep in mind, these aren't nudes. This is pornographic video footage. Not that nudes would be acceptable. That would still be unacceptable, but this is like another level of a violation of trust, which is the equivalent of a death sentence. Sorry, bringing a case against you would mean going public, which is the equivalent of a death sentence for me either way. So I feel like the best thing for me to do is to kill myself and schedule a post detailing my feelings on that happening, and to try and ensure a situation like this doesn't happen again. I'm not going to kill myself at this second. I'm trying to get some things in order before I end everything, but I don't see a future where I survive for much longer. It's better to end things sooner rather than later and stop the pain than let it continue. And then he decides to respond saying, I feel like it's hard for me to give you advice since I'm obviously implicated in everything, but I would say some of the following things. 1, things die out surprisingly fast. There might always be a couple random losers online, but people move on to the next thing. And outside of some losers on Kiwi Farm and some irrelevant content, people who will fade away in a year or two, inevitably, stuff fades away. There are people who were big online a few years ago that barely even find traces of anymore. Stefan Molyneux is a good example. You have every legal option available to you. You can always pursue stuff, and there are special civil and criminal protections that shield your name from being released, which, from my understanding in this instance, no, there is not. You can always do free consultations with litigation firms to check with stuff like that. For obvious reasons, you should take things I'm saying with a grain of salt and pursue and check out all of these things on your own. You've accomplished and done a ton of things in the past couple of years. When I met you a few years ago, you were yo-yoing like crazy between ultra-suicidal ideation thoughts and being hung up on a weird guy and feeling aimless after getting your college degree. But you've done a lot of work this year with PV and moved to and survived in Miami all on your own, branched out into new content areas, made new friends. It would be super shitty to not follow through for a couple more years at least and see where you could continue to push things. Happy to see no apologies here. Let's continue. He continues by saying, a few hours later, I messaged a mutual friend, Chaeiry, who I knew to be particularly close with Pixie. We tried to figure out the best way to move forward in terms of making things right, or as right as they could be for Pixie. In that conversation, we spoke about things I could do to alleviate the toll on Pixie's mental health. I took Chaeiry's suggestion and presented them to Pixie. I explicitly offered her help financially, having had it communicated to me that she was under financial pressure while dealing with this matter. She responded saying that whatever price she would ask would be, quote, too high, and would only result in making her feel worse. This is an older screenshot from our conversation. It appears she has since deleted that message as it's no longer in our current conversation history. This is a very bold statement coming from him after he proceeded to, I think over the past few days, who was it? Maybe I'm like hallucinating. I'll try and find a source for what I was going to say before I say it. Later in a conversation with Chaeiry, she told me that Pixie seemed to want me to cover her entire tuition for law schools. Others told me that Pixie thought it would be inappropriate for me to pay her anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. At no point did Pixie make a specific or explicit request for financial compensation. I think sometime on December 13th, Pixie unfriended me on Discord. It became clear that no amount that I agreed to would be satisfactory by the nature of the fact that I agreed to it. Third parties communicated to me the point of financial compensation would be to punish me. And here we get to the meat of the defense, which is, how dare this person that I abused, that I leaked images of their porn without their consent, and my recklessness has caused these videos to be public for anyone to see, and that countless people have seen it and have been sexually harassing this person. How dare this person try to financially punish me so that I never think about doing something like this ever again? That language was incredibly frustrating to hear secondhand. I already showed a willingness to make things right as best I could. I already spent time talking to a mutual friend of ours with the intent to help address concerns with her mental health and suicidal thoughts, the sincerity of which I genuinely believed. I was objectively harmed by this situation and was actively seeking to find a resolution that worked well for everyone. I'm not sure where Pixie got this idea that she needed to financially punish me. In this text message, Pixie reiterates that she doesn't want criminal penalties for me, just big financial ones. Some of my most personal messages have gone out to the world because of what happened, including multiple incredibly explicit videos of mine, many of which have been forwarded to family members and colleagues. Information has come out which has irrevocably damaged my personal relationship. See, this is the equivalent of driving recklessly, driving drunk, unbelievably drunk, going 100 on a freeway or more, and there's passengers in the car. And when you get in a car crash, you say, I can't believe they would blame me for driving recklessly when I had passengers. Don't they know that I got in an accident too? I know I'm the one who made the actions that caused everybody harm, but I also got harmed by my own actions. Can you believe that this would happen to me? It's almost like those people didn't consent to you being fucking insane and sending porn of them to a random person you've never met on the internet. Those people didn't consent to that insane behavior. Financial penalties are literally the whole point of the civil law system. What the fuck does he mean by, I don't know where they got that idea. Also, they elaborate on the point. Pixie elaborates. And she says, essentially, I want the financial punishment to be so bad that he never even thinks to do this to another woman again. That every time he considers sending non-consensual porn, or not, the porn is consensual. Sending it is non-consensual. He remembers that he had to pay out $1 million in a settlement and then chooses not to do it again. Which I will show these messages. I think actually we should show them now. She recently made this tweet, I believe, yesterday. She made this tweet yesterday saying, to all the people claiming that I only cared about personal profit and that Destiny tried to make things right, here are some DMs between Destiny and a close friend of his. Destiny knew about these DMs and never got back to me. And this friend says, it is that I don't think if Steven faces consequences, he will change and he will do this again. If he wants to donate the money to some charity organization, he can. I just think that other than jail, or even more than jail from the studies I've read, money is the strongest reinforcer and losing it is the strongest punishment. I do not believe he will stop his actions unless he faces some level of punishment. I'm not even sure about the specifics regarding money or punishment. I believe in rehabilitation, but part of the rehabilitation is penance. The person understands what they did is wrong, takes corrective action to help pay penance to the victims and do right by them. I just want to know if Steven agrees with this and is willing to figure out what this means to both of us in a manner that makes sense. The TLDR here is, yeah, if you lose millions of dollars because you shared because you revenge porn them, essentially, you're going to think twice before you do it again. That's the goal of punishing someone financially. Yes, it is also for the emotional distress that you have caused upon the person that you did, but it's also to make sure you don't do it again. That's the reason. There's also a weird side story where Pixie's friend leaked everything Pixie told her to Destiny. Yeah, I'm not going to get into those details because I don't know those interpersonal relationships enough, and I want to just focus the story on the victims. And I think that's what our primary focus should be on. But yes, the story has many other side notes, sidebars that should be mentioned. Continuing, her accusation I likely used as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability is extremely hurtful. I flat out cannot believe that anyone would think that I would intentionally leak this material to the public. Meanwhile, I believe it was a decade ago that he did exactly that. this is not the first time that he has attempted to act callously towards other people for his personal gain or pleasure. So he's making out that he got hacked and that's how this all got leaked? No. He didn't even he didn't get hacked. He was sending explicit videos which he did not have consent to send to some random person on Discord. To some random 19-year-old girl on Discord. And she leaked it. He didn't even get hacked. Because when you get hacked, it's tough. What are you going to do? Sharing it to anyone is essentially sharing it with the public. Who does he think he's fooling? To someone you've never met? And then we will continue here. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with the constant references to the precariousness of someone's mental health. Text messages. It no longer felt productive to engage in these conversations. As is well documented, at the start of this, I was completely willing to make things right with Pixie. He thinks that, like, he can just say the right words and then she won't feel traumatized by people having seen porn of her that she didn't consent to. Like, as if you can out-logic someone.
Classic Bonner show.
This is the final boss of, like, debate bro. Trying to debate bro someone that you harmed into not being super suicidal anymore. Because really, it's not that bad and people will move on. Would you consider this harassment as well? I would. No, I would consider this implicating yourself in a million things and admitting to things you should not admit. And this is your lawyer speaking. Keep going. Keep talking about this as much as you can. Please. No. This is the one time I mean it. Please keep talking about this. Please keep gaslighting your victim and including more information that people don't have. And also in another person, yeah, so there's multiple people right now that are either going to the police or filing charges against him or reaching out to lawyers to sue him. The first person to speak out, Pixie, was 19 at the time that this porn was recorded, and she did not give consent for him to send it to anyone, and he sent it to other people. And then it was leaked online. Another person who has since spoken out, Chaeiry, says that she was recorded without her knowledge. And that those were sent. So they were recorded without her knowledge and sent without her knowledge. And obviously, if someone doesn't have knowledge of a recording of them doing porn existing, they don't have consent to send it to anyone. They don't even have consent to have it. Not to be that guy, but is there a way to prove it wasn't consented? Like, isn't it impossible to prove unless there's a text clearly saying don't? You can prove it, I don't know what the official legal term for it is, but basically by context clues. The fact that he's apologizing and saying that he would pay her bills and try to make amends in these text messages that he posted shows that he did not have consent. There's no plausible deniability. Circumstantial evidence? I'm not sure if that's the official term, but because of the amount of instances that she has spoken with him or with other people and said, I did not consent to this, what the fuck? and he's saying, yeah, my bad, sorry, can I make it up to you? Also, I think you have to prove consent, not the other way around in this case. But even then, he basically admitted it. And then it doesn't help that his ex-wife has corroborated this story and has said that she did not give consent.
Chat, remember the golden rule of consent. The absence of a no does not mean you have the go-ahead.
Like,
if you can't get a yes, then it's automatically a no.
how insane do
Full
you have to
stop.
be to have porn of your ex-wife? Okay, whatever. You guys recorded stuff. Who am I to judge? Do what you want. And then send this porn of you and your ex-wife to some random 19-year-old on Discord you've never met. Like, what's happening here? Like, what is going on? You can delete that shit when you break up. Come on, people, don't be creeps. We're 20 steps removed from that. We're a million steps removed from that. We're not even talking about still keeping it, sending it. Wasn't his wife originally a fan as well? Clearly pattern of predatory behavior. I mean, all of these women were small creators when they met him. They were 19 when they met him, and he was 30. And he has done this exact pattern of behavior over and over and over and over again. Now, the problem is that he has never had a perfect victim before, because perfect victims are very hard to come by. And he has always been able to weasel out by debate broing his way out of everything. That actually he engaged in these terrible ways because they engaged in these terrible ways, so it was all justified, and actually these women are crazy. And all of these women experience such severe harassment that they give up. Because it's just not worth it. Because they can't find anyone who's willing to take him on. I mean, people are too scared to talk about politics. Pirate Software was too much of a pussy to just say, yeah, listen, Asmongold says some crazy, stupid shit. I just wanted to play some video games. He was too much of a pussy to say that. Taking on someone like Destiny as a creator and elevating a story like this takes a little bit of insanity. Because you will be harassed. Like, you will. Like, me covering this, I know I'm going to get harassment. Going back to your car crash example, he would be the type of person to use the excuse, well, they got in the car with me. Why didn't they say anything? I mean, this is, someone just linked it in chat. I wasn't around for this. I've not been on Twitch for long enough. But this is a post from 12 years ago that says, StarCraft player Stephen Benell, aka Destiny, shares naked pictures of a fangirl. He calls her Butterface and Shrek. She responds by posting pictures of his dick, angering his fans. Destiny again responds, this time threatening to contact her school and get her financial aid cut. So this is what I mean when I say it is very hard to find perfect victims, especially in a lot of these instances where the women are a decade younger than you. They've never been in like a real relationship before. They don't know how to suss out abusive patterns. Like most of the women that he gets in contact with are 19. His ex-wife was 19 when he met her, and he was 30. And again, this is what I mean when I say that they're not perfect victims, because she made the mistake of trying to get back at him. She no longer should be taken seriously because she's a terrible person, and how could she humiliate him like this? And she should have went through the correct legal proceedings, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So moving on, he finishes his statement by saying, Pixie has now stated her intentions to sue me and she's fundraising for that. I do not believe I have violated any laws. Well, I guess we'll let the courts decide. And since Pixie has made clear what she wants to do, I will have to let the evidence and legal findings speak for themselves. It is unfortunate that it has come to this, but it means that all communications with her or Lauren, who may or may not be representing her, will have to be through counsel. And I think this is actually the one time that Destiny will actually face any repercussions for his for his actions. Because even people in his subreddit are turning against him. People in his orbit, even though I hate that term, have unfollowed him, have went against him, have shit on him relentlessly, have unfollowed him or blocked him. You know it's bad when your cultists are seeing the light. And I am praying, inshallah, we get to Discovery and get to find his hard drive and get to look through that. Because if there ever was a hard drive to search, it would be that one. Also, Tom Bomb. Wait, can I get a link for this? This may or may not be true. Not to take too much credit, but can I get a timestamp for this? If you happen to have it. Yeah, dude, it's so sad because normally this XQC clip would be golden.
Has pray Pete and pray inshallah de Dorelli's crimes will get him sentenced.
But unfortunately, XQC, he's also in the cult, so he didn't realize. I'll show the clip of what he said.
You guys are naming people that are like sex offenders and out there racist and fucking like fucking people that promote harm and shit. Yo, that's not canceled. That's the law. That's the fucking law. When you do a crime,
it's so sad. This clip is so good.
you go to jail. You're not canceled. You're a criminal.
PM.
Okay. Unfortunately, XQC was a total dumbfuck and instead said this about this situation.
Everybody's up in arms about this, but what about the list that of extra Emily of previous sexual partners and the performance that she showed other people on stream, and people were like, this is kind of weird. Nobody made a big deal about that. That is the exact same thing. It was like, dude, but that's like images. That's like, no, I don't give a shit. That's the most intimate. It's the culmination of the interpersonal relationship in romance is intimacy. If you share that,
XQC being
right,
a dumb
in
fuck.
any way,
Oh,
you're wrong, especially without consent. Okay? It is the absolute pinnacle of two person together is doing the deed, whether it's...
Christ. Sorry, to be clear, what he's saying is that people are being hypocritical caring about this, but nobody cared about what Extra Emily did. And let me explain what Extra Emily did. She had a spreadsheet where she rated her partners. It was like Jake, 9 out of 10. John, 3 out of 10. And when she was on a stream, I think she might have shown the list to other people. If I'm remembering correctly,
XQC mad because he's bad in bed.
I think off camera, she like showed another streamer. She's like, yeah, this is my list. So let me just ask you guys a question. Would you rather have your ex-girlfriend? Would you rather have your ex-girlfriend tell people that you were a 5 out of 10 in bed, or have porn of you leaked for everyone to see on the internet? I mean, if they're the same, I should be getting equal 1s and 2s in chat, right? They're basically the same. I mean, like, there's no difference between these at all. There's literally no difference between these. Dude, rate me a 1 out of 10. I don't care. Rate me a 0 out of 10. You could say on stream I'm a 0 out of 10. I don't think anyone would pick having their porn leaked online over someone rating them. Are you fucking kidding me? It is embarrassing to call this, to remotely pretend like this is hypocrisy by anyone. Do I think the extra Emily list is weird? Yes. Yes, I think it's weird, but I think extra Emily is a weird person. She runs up to random strangers on the street and says, hey, I need to slap your ass because I hit a certain sub goal. Do I have consent to slap your ass? Is that okay? Would you mind if I slapped your ass? You can say no. Can I slap your ass on camera? Yes? Okay, turn around. Okay, got it. She's weird. She's really weird. She cooked meth steak in the parking lot of some Outback house steakhouse. She's very weird. She's a weird person. You have to be a weird person. You know what she didn't do? She didn't commit a fucking crime. She didn't send people's porn without their consent to other people. Again, I don't have a list, and I don't want to have a list. Of sexual partners, and I would definitely not share that. But like, that's so low on like the offensive scale of like morality, dude. Like I really wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care at all. I'd be like, well, that's kind of mean. Put me so low. Really? Damn. Anyways. Yeah, this is like, and then again, even people in LSF are shitting on XQC defending Destiny, which is like insane. Like the past year has been an insane year for LSF. The number of times I've seen people be attacked or defended that I would have never thought is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But we live in a wacky world, I guess. So, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to do next. There's a few other things that I wanted to talk about here. One, I want to double check that I think Pixie made 1 or 2 other posts that I think were relevant. This one's important. Yes, I want to talk about Dexerto. So Dexerto, I like how all of us pretty much assume that Dexerto, thank you, Tom Bomb. I like how everyone pretty much assumed that Dexerto was run by like a DGGer, like the Twitter page was. And now we all have confirmation that the reason why every single
33 months sub, that's 1 month for every millimeter tall. That's amazing DNM balls, DNM metric.
Every
Please tell
single
Wormy
Twitter
to stop
post.
sending me threats. I got her
So-
Colombian catnip, and it's in the mail.
Mario, thank you for the 33 months. Every single post from Dexerto is so shit. It's so unbelievably shit. And the framing is so unbelievably disingenuous. And everyone thought it, but now we have confirmation because in response to Destiny admitting to leaking other people's pornographic videos to some random people on the internet, Dexerto published the statement, Destiny has denied accusations that he deliberately leaked a woman's private images, claiming the leak happened without his knowledge, consent, or authorization. Nice way to bury the lead there. And this was after they had already posted the article and on their website, and within 6 hours they still weren't posting on the official Twitter post. They were too busy posting about like Speed doing a backflip or something. They genuinely tried to ignore the story. And Pixie rightfully posted this, showing that actually, no, it was a deliberate leak to a random person on the internet. This is someone else in this story, Chaeiry, saying, which is probably extremely difficult to prove in her case. She's not a high-profile micro celebrity, and you didn't leak it maliciously. You technically didn't even leak it at all. You distributed it non-consensually. And he says, yeah, I know. I looked into it for obvious reasons, just to be sure, but I don't really care much about the legal side of it. Obviously, I have severely, at the very least psychologically, damaged her. Covering therapy or whatever is a minimum. I have no problem helping out or sending her money as a form of repatriation. I just didn't want to come off as like, hey, bitch, lol, I know I violated your trust in the worst way ever, but here's some money, have fun. And this is a message, I believe, from Destiny to Pixie saying, ugh, there shouldn't be no, I'm sorry, there's literally zero excuse. I had phone convos and stuff with this person. They were fairly close to me. It's worthless to say it at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's no excuse. I won't say or confirm anything about them. If there's any particular action or thing I can do, just let me know. But yeah, Dexerto, for sure. He is denying accusations. For sure. Thank you for proving to all of us that the Twitter account is run by a DGGer. I never thought people would want to defend an Epstein, but there's 2025 is a roller coaster, I guess. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about on this topic is the fact that another person has since come out to say that today, I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent that was also shared without my consent. I'm really upset right now. I'm going to give myself time to process this. This is serious. The person who received the recording from Destiny was not aware I did not consent to the recording. They recognized me by my voice and messaged me today out of concern. I don't feel comfortable sharing more right now. She continued the next day to say that Destiny has blocked me and banned me and people supporting me from his community. I've not done anything besides ask him for an explanation, as I was assured this was something he didn't do to me. When I wasn't given one privately, I spoke publicly. I am not involved in any lawsuit or coordinating with anyone seeking justice due to the leaks in November, though they have had my empathy and support in their efforts. It was only yesterday that I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had sex without my consent, and with no regard for me, shared that recording to others. 2 women now have let me know that they received sexual recordings taken of me in September 2023 without my consent. I thank them so much for their concern for me. No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what was done to me. I will be filing a police report and pressing charges. Excellent. Good stuff here. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Normal stuff here. And like, here's the thing. I mean, you guys are like the most fucking normal chat. But regardless of your disagreements with these people, I mean, I've never really been friends with Chaeiry, and I don't really follow this circle at all because it's just like you just induce brain damage if you do. And I've never really spoken to her, I don't think. I know other people might have run into issues with either Chaeiry or some of these other people. And I would like anyone who has to put your personal experiences aside and recognize that this is someone who has been unbelievably violated, and they should have the right and they should have the support to proceed with criminal charges against someone who recorded them without their consent having sex and then sent that to someone else. There was I want to show, or I want to highlight let me see, I have so many tabs open, fuck. Trying to find the no, I can't seem to find it. I wanted to highlight the video from his ex-wife Melina. Also saying that she did not give consent. It's in, I believe it's in the Bad Empanada video. What do women see in the little goblin? I mean, it's not. Sorry, it's always been the case that women have said that they are attracted to personality. I'm sorry, it's like true. It's always been true. Okay, this was the video. Let me find it. Okay, here we go.
Like, if he was willing to share like intimate images and stuff of his ex-wife without her permission, then imagine how much less respect he would have had for all the other people involved, for all the other victims. And yeah, I mean, even talking sexually to a 19-year-old fan is fucking weird in of itself, even though it's not technically a crime. Sharing porn with them is weird in of itself. Sharing non-consensually sharing porn from like people you actually know, that is like another level of depravity and is actually a crime. So let's watch this.
Well, something I can't, like, I'm not gonna go into detail or anything, but there's plenty of people that's wondering this, but I feel like this should be obvious. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else. Like there's been no consent.
Okay, I actually forgot what she said in this. So she said there was no consent from her nor anyone else involved. Literally all of it was non-consensual. So straight up confirmed there. I guess it's not 100% confirmed because, you know, it's just her word. But at least in her case, we can definitely say that Destiny did not have consent, and that is already enough to consider him a sex criminal. But if it's true that in the other cases that there was also no consent, then that's even fucking worse. I feel like we all sort of got caught up in the ridiculousness of the Destiny Nick Fuentes part, that we sort of missed the forest for the trees here with what was actually going on, which was like actual just straight up sex crimes. Something that his fans are too fucking cowardly to talk about. And like, for me to actually disseminate this to people, I'd have to make a video on my main channel, and I am certainly not going to make a fucking Destiny sex crime.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bad Empanada does end up making a video on this, because this was before he made this video before Pixie's statement even came out. So since then, Pixie has corroborated this and made her own statement and is pursuing legal action against him. And since then, Chaeiry's also come out and talked about this. And I believe I believe there are other parties as well. But we don't know more information about them yet. And then Dexerto finally decided that they couldn't wiggle anymore and did report on the fact that a police report has been filed as Destiny was, oh my God, they're still being like scummy. Police report filed as Destiny accused of sharing intimate recording of woman. Just bury the lead. Just keep doing it, man. Keep playing defense for a sexual predator. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Put yourself in the camp with the sex criminals. That looks really good for you. Callum Patterson. Yeah. Defend that sex criminal. Do it. Yeah. Way to be a fucking total hack. Okay. And then let me see. AF Post reported saying police report filed against liberal streamer Destiny for allegedly leaking sexual recording of fellow streamer Chaeiry. Other allegations of him doing similar things to women have cropped up in recent days. This is a really funny tweet. Joe Biden had 4 years to have Destiny arrested. Trump did it in 3. It's so good. Christ. All right. In just an insane clip. This clip is titled Destiny canceled Bob 7 for sharing nudes without consent. Let's watch it, shall we? I don't know any of these people, but insane if true. You guys don't think that he would be hypocritical, right?
Character assassinating of me. Like, Destiny's abusive, Destiny's a sociopath, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, like, I can be a pretty cool motherfucker. And yeah, you know, me and Malene have problems, but I don't think I fucked up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes, calling people ugly behind their backs while telling them I want to fuck them.
And the image provided is the one of him sending pornographic videos, a pornographic video that he did not have consent to share to this person who eventually leaked it and said pretty terrible stuff that I, to be honest, don't want to read. So if you can read it, please go for it. I don't really want to. What's wrong with some of you? The women he sent the videos to didn't know it was not sent consensually. What, you just fly in from Stupid Town? He knew they were non-consensual. We're shitting on him? You good, buddy? Real skate park energy here. You good? You guys know what? I think we should, you guys are right. I should stop calling him Destiny. I should start calling him Epstiny. You guys are right. And now I don't remember this well enough for my own well-being. Honestly, like I told you guys, I really do log the fuck off. Mostly just because I'm addicted to video games and I like to play video games with my friends, so I don't have time and energy to look into this shit. But from what I remember about this character, this Bob 7 character, I vaguely remember seeing LSF posts of him trying to expose Destiny for like basically abusive sexual misconduct. And there have been many people over the years, I think, who have tried to do the same and show that this is a pattern of behavior, that he preys on younger women, and that he is very good at abusing. And no one has really succeeded because, again, no one has really been a perfect victim. But there is a reason that most of the women first of all, that he speaks to, that he engages with, that he tries to have sex with, are significantly younger than him. That they are almost always like a decade younger than him. And there's a reason they almost always have very small audiences. I can't explain how much I hate the J Still illustration. It looks so fucking ugly. I don't know the J Still guy at all. I think I've seen him post cringe online, but I'm pretty sure he was like one of the... I think I might have muted him because he just was sucking Destiny's dick, not literally, I think, hopefully. But he just like, he was riding on it. Again, I'm only talking metaphorical. I think in this conversation, I have to clarify that. Metaphorically doing tricks on it and blowing bubbles on it. And this was like the line for him. This was it. Like, he saw this and he was like, okay, actually, this guy might be a piece of shit.
Allegedly.
No, I don't think he... I could be wrong, but I don't think he was actually having sex with him. Yeah, maybe they docked. I don't know. Who knows? I don't keep up with other streamers' sex lives. Metaphorically blowing bubbles is crazy. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about, number one, the post that he has since been making, or the messages that he's since sent. Destiny recorded women during sex without their knowledge or consent. Now that a police report is being filed, he's completely without remorse. And this morning in his chat, he threatened at least 20 other streamers being outed if he gets on the sex offender list. And this says, one girl in 2015 said that Epstein bragged about fucking thousands of sex trafficked girls. Did any of these thousands of people come out? Was this an accusation made in court or just a random thing she said in media? I'm receiving confidential information from a spy that there's this excessively weird Coomer shit going on here involving women. What the fuck are these messages? And then he says, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking at least 20 other streamers with me, okay? Sex therapy, lol, W. Like I said, if I need sex therapy, then so do 100 other streamers. The reality is, ever since I started my Vyvanse, my desire for any of these types of interactions has fallen off a cliff. That's why all of this is pre-2024. Your Honor, he's neurodivergent. Your Honor, he's neurodivergent and basically a minor, okay? Okay? Also, like, what an Epstein thing to say. Yeah, well, if I'm going down, I'm bringing all of the other sexual predators with me. What a crazy thing to say. I have no words on how insane this is. Epstein jokes continue to write themselves. Yeah. This is out of pocket, dude. This is out of pocket. I do not condone these type of jokes. I do not believe in satire. See if you can find Destiny's new house. And it's the Reddit post of a map of registered sex offenders living. His autism superpowers preying on people. Stop. Oh God. Yeah. I did want to highlight this message from Chaeiry about this. I don't care if we're friends, enemies, strangers, if we disagree politically, debated harshly. I don't care if you've dismissed me and wrote me off as mentally ill in the past or have made brutal criticisms of your behavior. I don't care. These are not unforgivable crimes to me. I empathize with anyone who's insecure and concerned to throw stones in a glass house. Do not let this man scare you or threaten you into thinking you are the same as him. Do not let destiny make you think that your silence or support of him up to this point or at any point is a scarlet A on your name forever. I know it was done to me, and I know who did it. Yeah. Yeah. I would just like everyone to, and again, you guys are super normal, and I know you guys would already do this, but I would love everyone to just give support to the victims here, and try and uplift their voices, because it takes unbelievable courage to do what Pixie did, to be the first person to come forward, knowing that it will get her harassed, knowing that people will contribute to sexual harassment, knowing that there are pathetic fucking fanboys that will not leave her alone for probably weeks to come. And if you do have, $1 or $5 or $10, please donate it. I know that she already reached her goal, but 1, there will be stretch goals, and 2, this lawsuit is going to be bigger than just her at this point. This is going to be a massive lawsuit for a lot of women, and I trust her to pursue the civil and potentially, in other instances, criminal charges against him. So yeah, if you guys could give her support, or if you have anything to spare, even just like a retweet of her post of her GoFundMe is also huge. So, and thank you to everyone who's already donated, to anyone who's already tried to help. And Mod for Pixie, we already had shitters try and share the revenge porn in Discord. It's just disgusting. It just, what the fuck is wrong with, like, what the fuck has to be wrong with you? I've donated. I know I've made a few jokes, but even if her content isn't for me, she doesn't deserve this at all. I mean, nobody deserves having their porn leaked against their consent. Like, nobody deserves that. The reason people didn't care about it happening to Destiny was because he's the one who's sending it to random people he's never met before on Discord. Are you insane? Yes, actually, if you're sending it to someone you've literally never met, whose name you don't even fucking know, and you have no personal information from this person, and you're sending them your porn, people don't have sympathy because that's crazy. And also, you're a terrible person. There's an expectation that if you're sending it to one person that you know and trust, that you've known for years, that they're not going to send it to 500,000 other people. What happened to just sending memes? I don't know, man. I don't know. Other people's riz is crazy. I don't know. And I literally don't. Yeah. I just ask people if they want to play video games, dude. That's just... Ugh. This tweet is also pretty good. Destiny over here threatening us all with a good time. Major of stupid town here. We don't claim this guy. How's the rivals climb this season? I got to Diamond. Yesterday. Hopefully, I'm trying to get GM this season. I have the time to play it. Last season, the season was so short that by the time I got to Diamond, the season was basically over. So when I tried to climb, every game had people tilted. It was every game. So hopefully this time it's not as bad. Solo queue to Diamond? Yeah! Solo queue to Diamond. Basically only playing Penny Parker. Penny Parker's been going pretty well. I got to GM. Your penny's wild. You can get to GM. Thanks. I'm learning new penny strats. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm kind of blasting them. It's just the only thing that sucks about playing Penny Parker is just everyone gets mad. Just everyone gets mad. It's just every game. It's like, can you switch off Penny? Can you switch off Penny? Can you switch off Penny? She's not good. She's not good. And every time I check these people's games and they have like a 40% win rate, it's like, yes, we lost this game because I had more kills, final hits, and damage than you. And somehow less deaths. And not because you have a sub 40% win rate. Okay, for sure. For sure, whatever you say. Oh, God. She's not good. Stupid. So dumb. The only character that's not good is like Black Widow. And even then, if someone insta-locks Black Widow, just let them play it. And if they do well, they don't do well, just like try and convince them nicely. But anyways, yeah. Moving on. The last thing I wanted to say on this was just like, I really do appreciate all of you taking it seriously, and it is really cool for everyone who has already donated and helped reach this goal, and that potentially he won't be able to continue this cycle of abusing people and abusing women around him. And for this feels so weird to talk about because I haven't talked about it in years because I stopped talking about it because I kept getting harassed. But I was in not even close to a similar situation. But when I started streaming, I very similarly to Hassan, I became friends with him because he was one of the few, I think he might have been the only political content creator on Twitch at the time. And that was back before, I think it was more widely known, before anyone knew that he was like a huge piece of shit. And he did similar, at the time, I think I was 20. And or maybe I was even 19, I don't remember. And he was 30. And it is crazy how terribly vindictive and abusive he is. And there is, I will never forget it. And it's crazy because like, it feels so long ago, but it's also still like he has so many victims and he has done this same shtick over and over and over again, where he reaches out, or other women reach out to him who are 18 or 19 or 20. And he does the same song and dance where he tries to use and abuse them and then discard them when it's no longer relevant or useful for him. And unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. And after that point, he decided to just do a full smear campaign on me, and threatened to leak non-sexual. In this case, I feel like it's important to recognize that because these people have had to deal with him leaking sexual video footage or audio footage, but then he threatened to leak non-consensual, illegal recordings of me. We had a conversation and he recorded it in California, which is a 2-party consent state, which you cannot record people without their consent, and then threatened to leak that. And I thought that the audio recording was of a different nature, and I was super scared. I was terrified. And that was me thinking it was something else. Like in California, yes. And since that moment, I basically didn't talk about him at all because, like I said, he is a black hole. He's a cynical piece of shit black hole whose only goal is to sexually abuse women, a lot of women like Pixie or like Chaeiry or like any of the women that he surrounds himself with. And I am very happy to see that there is finally someone who is a perfect victim, who is brave enough to come out. Does he just record everyone around him? Yes. And who actually can get the support of other people. And it makes me very happy that I can sort of finally put this chapter behind me. And that he can potentially face repercussions for his actions. And that maybe people will finally recognize that he is, not a good person and doesn't actually care about any of the people he surrounds himself with. You have to be like insane narcissist levels to be sending people's porn when they were 19 to random strangers you've never met and not care at all about what would happen to them. Like you just don't care about the people around you to do that. You don't care. So yeah, it is, I am very happy to see this. And he's literally said on his stream that he's a sociopath. Yes. He has said on his stream that he is a sociopath and that any women who he is, I don't have the clips on hand because again, like I said, I just wanted to move past it and I just needed the harassment to stop at the time because in his natural MO, he targets streamers who have small audiences, who are younger women, which is what he did with me and what he did with many, many, many other people. And there is a clip, I think, it was like when he was going through the divorce with his ex-wife or something. I don't remember, but he explicitly said something like, any women who ever get involved with me will deal with severe psychological trauma. Like, like from the mouth, like from himself, he said that. Right? It was just an insane thing to say, which is a crazy thing to say. Can that even be taken as a joke? It wasn't a joke. Within the context of the video, he was being accused of being abusive, to which he responded saying, absolutely, yes, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So I hope any women who, I missed my window to seek criminal charges, the statute of limitations for recording someone, just a normal audio, was 2 years and I missed it. And I will never be able to seek that justice out. And again, I'm not trying to compare myself to any of these women because there's a massive difference between having a normal non-sexual conversation conversation recorded and a sex tape recorded. Like these are hugely different. And I don't want to try and downplay any of these things or try and pretend like what I went through is anything close to what these women went through. But because I know that I will never be able to seek that out because again, the statute of limitations was so short. I really don't want these women to miss out on their ability to seek justice. And it makes me really happy to see people like Mike talk about it and people like Hassan talk about it and actually provide people like Pixie a way to seek justice against this person who has a terrible history. And yeah, I don't think someone like this should be able to keep getting away with targeting younger women and abusing them and then doing all this fucking terrible shit like when they're 30 and these women are like 19. But this is not a sad situation. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy. Please, anything that you might feel towards me, put it towards the victims right now, because that's what I'm trying to highlight. And I just want to say this is a W day. Okay, this is a great day. This is a great day, and this is, I think, the first time I've seen someone be able to actually get any traction and have a really good chance, like a really good chance legally against him. And if we can stop his ability to harm other people, that would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. This is why he's had so many women show us and then leaves his orbit after some time. Yeah, I mean, and he does the same song and dance. Like, he attempted to do it with me. He attempted to do it with plenty of other people over the years. But none of these people are perfect victims. I wasn't a perfect victim. Probably, I think Chaeiry isn't a perfect victim. Fucking some other people that I've seen in passing weren't perfect victims, because it's impossible to be a perfect victim. It's just not. It's not possible. But no one deserves to be like harassed relentlessly for the most mild crimes. But his common strategy is to just besmirch your name as much as he can, as often as he can, until you let him win. And it's cool that there is finally someone that really is genuinely a good person. Like, I will tell you guys personally, I've known Pixie for many years, and she is a good person.
Not
like,
being a
why did the TTS stop? Not being a perfect victim doesn't invalidate your experience. Yeah. But she is genuinely a really good person, and she really has tried to see the good in everything and everyone. And I mean, she literally admitted that she was naive to try and do that with him. And you know, I hope and I think genuinely she will pursue this to the ends of the earth. And I'm really happy for her, because I imagine she's in a really good place right now, mentally. Like, just off of her tweets, like her text messages describing like her suicidality after having her porn leaked against her will. Because this person she trusted is a piece of shit. To saying how happy she is that she gets to pursue legal action, and that how happy she is that she was even able to get close and pass the goal of fundraising. But just like, don't fall. The one thing I will say is, don't fall for his red herring strategies. He does the same thing anytime he's accused of anything, which is he tries to push the blame onto something else, or he tries to redirect attention to something else. He tries to shit smear, or like shit sling, excuse me, as hard as he can to defend his terrible actions. That it was okay for him to do what he did because actually this person deserves it. Just, if you see him pull this shit, just call him Epstein and move on. Yeah, sure, whatever you say, Epstein. The other thing is, like, he's a massive liar. He lies about things all the time. Half the shit that he's accused other people of is a total lie. It's all a distraction. It's all a distraction. So you shouldn't take it seriously. Ever, ever, ever shouldn't take it seriously. And you should assume that what he says is lying. I mean, one of his primary attempts to try and get Hassan banned off the platform was because he went to an underage brothel. Don't believe what this guy says. He is a disingenuous liar. And that's what he does to anyone who tries to stand up to him. Anyone who tries to stand up to him, he does the same shtick, which is, yeah, well, this person, they shot up a school. I was there for it. This person, actually, they kicked a puppy once. I was there for it. So 50% of the time, he's just being a weaselly little liar and just making some shit up because he knows no one will fact check it. Like saying that Hassan went to an underage brothel. And the other 50% of the time, even if he does say something true, it's not worth taking seriously because he's just using it as a distraction for his bad behavior and his actions. And there is nothing that you can say that will distract people from the fact that you were sending porn that you did not have consent to have, and you did not have consent to send to anyone else. And this will not be swept under the rug. His threat to the 20 other streamers was cute. Yeah. It was giving big like tech tone. I'm going to sue everyone who comes after me. Like, sure you are, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Whatever you say. Exactly. Under some of the allegations, people were just using quotes from Destiny where he said, Will cheated on Caroline. He tries anything, which is just like an insane thing. I read that shit and I was like, okay, this is made up. I read that and I was like, this is not, he's just lying. Lo and behold, by the way, he was lying about that. Which again is what he's done to all of these people. Odds of him pivoting to the hard right because of this, very high. It's the only place he has left to go. The problem is that like he's done so much shit to piss off the hard right, like making fun of the guy who died at the Trump rally, that he might have a slightly difficult time pivoting. Will cheated on Caroline with BB No Money. Yeah. I always see his name and I want to say BB Nos, but I know that's not right. No. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, he's already used to sucking Nazi dick. Stop. Allegedly sucking Nazi dick. Okay. Very important. Oh man, I feel such a burden lifted off me, dude. Like it's like this weight that I've been carrying, and I can finally like put it past me. It's really cool. 2025, dude. Cool year.
Proud of you, Deanbo DNML.
And I will just say that Pixie is a person that I think a lot of people can trust on this front. And I know for a fact that she will fight this to the end. She will fight this to the end. I feel so good for you. Remember all that shit was also fucked? Yeah. It's just that people didn't know. I mean, even like when Hassan broke up with him over the Kamala stuff, was that it? I don't remember the details, but like people just they didn't know how bad it was. Like they literally didn't know. N-word manifesto? God, dude. Wait, was it over the N-word stuff? That story was insane, dude. That story was crazy, man. That's how it started, yeah. Who would have thought that like it's like the domino meme. The first domino is like N-word manifesto to like the last domino, which is someone is filing a police report. Dude, the craziest part about that is like, I'm pretty sure we got to get close, going back to the domino meme, I'm pretty sure all of these stuff uh, that eventually culminated, because I really do think that Hassan being popular after his breakup like broke Destiny's brain. I think that did like permanent damage to him. And then he's a huge cynic, so I think he actually started losing it. And I'm not joking. Like, this isn't me making fun of him just to make fun of him. I'm being very serious. I think he didn't know in his brain how to handle being overshadowed by this person who he believed was a hack. And I really do think it caused him brain damage. Like, the ego bruise was really bad. Like, he got Hassan derangement syndrome. I mean, I agree. Hassan took over the space that he felt that he built. Wait, sorry, really quickly. Asman just slipped up, or he's reading a script and directed, but Tectone is a criminal and an actor.
DNM love.
Wait, really? Wait, we got to talk about that next then. But before we get to that, I just want to say, like, it's insane that I think I ended up unintentionally causing the brain damage that he experienced with Hassan, because when I was getting harassed by Destiny's community, I made the mistake. I've learned a lot of lessons, and I actually am very grateful to being introduced to Destiny such a long time ago. And I learned a lot about trust, and I learned a lot about streaming, and I learned a lot about just how to protect yourself. And I think in my stream where I went to defend myself and said, like, you know, like, actually all of these claims against me are fucking lies and I'm being lied about. Someone in chat, and this is my mistake. You never read chat when you're doing a stream to try and defend yourself. That was the first lesson I learned. Someone in chat said, and this is often misconstrued, but someone in chat said, does Destiny actually say the N-word in private? To which I said, foolishly, yes. Which in 2025 is not controversial because he said it publicly on stream, bravely. That's all I did. And then that kind of like exploded accidentally, which is what caused the N-word manifesto, which is what caused Destiny and Hassan to break up, which is what caused Destiny's brain damage, which is what caused him to have an insane ego and think he would never get caught sexually abusing and sexually harassing and leaking pornographic image of women like Pixie. So like, sometimes shit happens, man. This is my fault. Yeah. I did. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Which is always misconstrued as like, I threatened to leak it. Like, why would I threaten to leak something he's publicly said that he does? Huh? I don't threaten to do stuff. I just do them. That's stupid. Threatening to do stuff is such a pussy move. Like, it's such a pussy no balls move. Don't threaten it, do it. Do it or don't do it. But hey man, if it caused eventually people like Pixie to come forward in some weird long domino way, we'll take it. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? BB no balls. Real G's move in silence. Yeah. Have some character. Have a spine. Do it. Yeah. But to be fair, their breakup was inevitable. I mean, yeah, 100%. The breakup was inevitable. The breakup was inevitable. I'm just like taking an opportunity to finally clear my name and say that I'm not a pussy. I don't threaten people. I just do it. Okay? All right. That's just... Let's just be real. Let's just be real for 2 seconds. Man, whew. Well. Bitchless
Slash headline is so weird.
I think this is really good. I think this is dope. I think this is genuinely, I think Pixie did a really good job. I think she wrote a really good Substack message. And I think choosing this image is I'll say iconic. Very iconic. It was a really good decision to choose this image because I think it's like, I think it does a lot. I think it does a lot.
Hi, Denims.
Hi, Mars. Thank you for the 8 months. She should get into marketing. Yeah. What's the image? It's you know how like Hassan has like Has L, and I have like DNML, and it's wormy. This is Destiny's. Sorry, Epstony's. And using this image so that this image is permanently linked to his crimes is fucking amazing. That is fucking amazing. And I'm not just talking about like in the search engine way that if you look up this image now, this might come up, but I mean in the way to make this guy look like the sheep in wolf's clothing. Like this is who he pretends to be, and this is not who he is.